Good afternoon. Please be seated. Hi, everyone. I'm Bruce Blonigan. I'm the Edward Miletus Dean of the Lundquist College of Business. And it is really my distinct honor to be here to share this special moment with our graduates, their family and friends, and our faculty and staff. The Sports Product Management program is a unique and truly elite degree offered by our Lundquist College of Business. When others ask me to tell them a little bit about the innovative and distinctive things that we offer at the Lundquist College, and indeed at the university, this program comes to mind immediately. In short, it embodies all the qualities that we aspire to as ducks. And yes, you're ducks now. It pairs a strong blend of academic rigor with practical experience. It's taught by impressive faculty with deep industry experience and a keen dedication to student success. Look at all these faculty that showed up. That's amazing. It brings together a group of elite students with an amazing diversity of backgrounds. It's innovative, and it demands that its students take risks. And finally, it launches you into exciting and productive careers. And I'm especially impressed with this group of graduates who completed this program online. While our faculty and staff have been committed to providing you with a variety of ways to be connected with your fellow students and instructors, the residencies, the trips that you take, and to build a cohort, which is amazing. There still is very much a solo adventure to what you do and to completing any program like this. It takes an extra amount of grit, persistence, and self-discipline. And I think this is important to acknowledge. Great job. Now, while this is such a special day for our graduates and their family and friends, it's also an affirming event for our faculty and staff. Seeing your success inspires our continued work to deliver a world-class sports product management degree to future cohorts. And we're also excited to see you join a vibrant group of sports product management alumni who we know will continue to be engaged in the program, our college, and the university. So once a duck, always a duck, right? Congratulations again, graduates. We're very proud of you. And we are honored to be here today to celebrate your success. All right, go Ducks. And with that, I want to introduce our director of the Sports Product Management Program, Jennifer Nolfi.
Thanks, Bruce. Amazing to see you all there. You're almost done. So hello, class of 2026. I'm the director of the program and honored to work with our faculty and students and alumni. I want to start by introducing the people that have joined me on stage here. We have Charlie Baim-Aldred, who is our professor, and he'll be announcing the names today. Our co-founder, Dr. Ellen Schmidt-Devlin. Our dean, you heard. Dave Schechter, who's the VP and GM of Global Sportswear for Nike in our keynote. And Tristan Norber, who's Associate Director of Student Experience. Welcome, friends, family, alumni, mentors, partners, and those joining us virtually. I want to thank all of you who made this journey possible for our students. We know it took time, effort, and energy of everyone that supported them to get this far, and we couldn't do it without you. I want to start by acknowledging our faculty again and having them stand, because we honestly could not do any of this without them, and they all have industry experience that makes our program so important. You can tell they weren't thrilled about me having them stand up, but they're a critical part of our program. And then I want to recognize our team, Erica, Daisy, Christina, Leslie, Francine, and Tristan. I'm honored to work with all of you. So graduates, I want to take you back to 21 months ago. You arrived in Portland, some of you for the very first time, You showed up as strangers. What had existed in theory was now becoming real. You came from different backgrounds, different cultures, different time zones, and full lives with careers, families, and responsibilities. And almost immediately, you were placed on teams and given a challenge to identify a real consumer problem and build a solution together. I imagine many of you had the same thought. How is this going to work? I've never made a shoe. I've never sewn on a sewing machine. I've never been to Asia. Collaboration isn't easy. You balanced competing schedules, lives, sometimes with only a little bit of time in your day to get through your day. And through your teams, trust formed, friendship formed, a community formed. As we heard in your duck talks yesterday, you learned that no one succeeds alone, that every opportunity starts with a person and the courage to connect. That self-awareness is a strength, that there is hard work and also laughter. And somewhere along the way, many of you found or reconnected with your why and understand the importance of protecting it. So let's come back to that question. How did this work? It worked because of you. You showed up, you leaned into uncertainty, and you gave yourselves grace and kept going. Because you pushed through challenges together and built something real with purpose and impact. You didn't just grow as students, you grew as leaders and teammates and as individuals. You've proven that you can do this. So as you go forward, stay connected, because just like this journey, your next opportunity will start with a person. Go lead, go build, protect your why. We are so proud of everything you've accomplished, and please know that you will always be an important part of the SPM community. Congratulations, class of 2026.
Hi, everybody. My name is Stephanie Antipov, and thanks everyone for being here today. I wanted to take a moment to thank the village of people that are in this room. All the graduates, you should look back and thank them too. To the faculty, family members, mentors, friends, this graduation couldn't be here without you guys. And to the graduates, congratulations, we finally did it. When most people think of sports, they think about the athlete. They think about the game-winning shot, the world record, the comeback story, and the championship moment. But many people never see everything that happens behind those moments. They don't think about the designer sketching late into the evening, the developer testing materials over and over again, the product manager trying to solve problems that have never been solved before, the marketer building belief around an idea, and the merchant deciding how the product reaches the athlete at the right moment. Sports has always been driven by people willing to create what does not yet exist. And that is exactly why this room matters. Because we're graduating at one of the most important moments in the history of the sport industry. Technology is transforming performance. The definition of an athlete is expanding. The expectations of consumers are changing. And community now matters just as much as the competition. And the next generation is demanding something bigger from the brands than just product alone. They want authenticity, they want inclusion, they want innovation with purpose, and they want to feel seen. That means the future of sport will not be shaped only by the athletes on the field. It'll be shaped by the people in rooms like today. People like us. That responsibility is exciting, but it should also challenge us. Because creating sport products is not just about making product look better. It's not just about selling more units, and it's definitely not about following trends. The best products in sports have always done something a little deeper. They create confidence, they remove barriers, and they help people believe they belong. A great product can help an athlete run faster, but an even greater product can help someone discover they're an athlete in the first place. That difference matters. Some of us in this room will go into footwear, and some into apparel, innovation, merchandising, storytelling, engineering, or leadership. But no matter where we go, I believe our generation has a unique opportunity. We can redefine who sport is designed for. We can create products and experience for athletes who have historically been overlooked. We can create sustainability as a standard instead of a marketing strategy. We can use technology to connect people to movement in ways that was impossible just a few years ago. And we can build an industry that values both performance and humanity. That's the kind of future that's worth building. One of the most powerful things this program has taught us is that great products do not start with assumptions. Thank you, Steve. They start with empathy. They start with listening. They start with observing and with understanding the real lives of athletes, not just elite athletes, but all athletes. The teenager trying sports for the first time, the runner training after work at 9 p.m., the mother returning to fitness after pregnancy, the adaptive athlete, and the kid who can't afford the latest and greatest gear but still dreams to compete. Those stories matter. And if we do our jobs well, the future of sport will become more accessible, more connected, and more inspiring because of the work of everybody in this room. So today, as we celebrate everything that we've accomplished, I want to leave our class with one final thought. We are not just the next generation entering the sports industry. We are the generation that will influence how athletes compete. That means we have a responsibility to build with intention, to create products that inspire confidence, to create experiences that invite more people into sport, to challenge outdated thinking, and to lead with creativity, curiosity, and courage, and to never lose sight of the human being on the other side of the products that we create. Because years from now, athletes will never know our name, but they will have competed differently because of the work that we chose to do. Thank you.
Okay, 1, 2, okay, you hear me? Everyone? Okay, hi everyone, how's everyone feeling today? Good, I'm glad of the enthusiasm. For those who don't know me, I'm Natalia, and I've been given the privilege of representing our SPMO online cohort today. I have to admit, this feels a little like my Oscars awards moment, but instead of accepting an award, I get the honor of celebrating someone who has made an incredible impact on all of us. The Faculty Award reflects the foundation of what this program stands for: leadership, curiosity, building genuine connections, and a deep commitment to growth inside and outside the classroom. It honors someone who doesn't just teach the material, but truly embodies the spirit of this program and leaves a lasting imprint on everyone they interact with. While preparing this speech, and I promise there's a purpose here, I was reminded of a quote from Harry Potter movie series, where it was mentioned in the beginning of the student's journey at Hogwarts, which was, "Help will always be given to those who ask for it." And when I think about this year's recipient, that quote couldn't be more fitting. From day one, you could feel their passion for this industry and their commitment to helping others learn, grow, and see new possibilities for us. Whether that's in the classroom, during our residency, or even halfway across the world when we went on our Asia trip, they were always fully present, from asking thoughtful questions, being curious, and taking the time to understand each student's story. Throughout this program, they consistently showed up for us. They challenged us to think bigger and supported us in moments when we needed it most. When I asked members of our cohort who they felt embodied this award, the same themes came up again and again, which was kindness, passionate, approachable, and just deeply invested in others. But what stood out most was that if any of us ever needed help, they were always there for anything like homework, career advice, industry insights, and just to be an open ear. And all of that was because all we had to do was ask. As we leave here today and step into the next chapter of our journey, I hope we carry forward the example of this individual has set for all of us, to lead with kindness, stay curious, be proud and loud of our passions, and never underestimate the impact you can have on the people around you. It is my absolute honor to present the 2026 SPMO Online Faculty Award to, if you haven't guessed it, John Notar.
Couple words. Thank you, Natalia. I feel very fortunate and really honored to receive this recognition. The trust and support from my colleagues and the SPM program really have been invaluable. And I want to thank you, the class of 26. I've really enjoyed working with you, and I'm open anytime in the future, wherever you are. You know, when you started this SPM journey, you really changed the direction of your life. And I want to recognize and commend you for how really effectively you have shown up and succeeded in a virtual learning environment over the last 21 months. You balanced work, family, school, fitness, and handled it with real commitment. The journey was demanding, it was tough, but the sacrifices you made and your families have made really have made this completely worthwhile. Now you move forward, and you move forward with the tools and confidence to succeed in what comes next. Through hands-on experience, SPM has really prepared you. Think about it. You can craft product briefs and line plans, build a tech pack, work with a factory, develop a brand house, create a marketing plan, build a go-to-market strategy, and translate a product's value through storytelling. You are ready, if you're not already in the industry, to step into it, make an impact, and shape its future. So stay curious, bring positive energy the way you have to the classroom, bring it to wherever you're working, build trust with your teammates, and I really believe there's no limit to what you can accomplish. Now, at some point, you're going to be challenged, and in that moment, my advice is to be clear about who you are and what you stand for. And when your moment arrives, yes, meet it with courage. Over the years, I've had the privilege of watching 5 outstanding online classes walk across this stage to mark their graduation. And each class has contributed to the amazing legacy of the SPM program. But the class of 2026 has distinguished itself. And this group sets the standard for what an exceptional cohort looks like. So I'm very proud of all of you. Best of luck in the journey ahead. Please come back and share your experiences and help us make this program stronger. So thank you and congratulations.
That's embarrassing. Told myself I wouldn't cry, but Good afternoon, faculty, families, friends, the industry partners who showed up for us, and most of all, my fellow graduates. For nearly 2 years, I didn't live one life. I lived four at once. By day, holding down a full-time job. By night, a full-time student in this program. And underneath all of that, the two roles that mattered the most, a husband and a father. And here's the thing. I look out at the stage, and I know I'm not special. Every one of us was carrying something. Some of you worked, some of you were parents, some of you flew across the country, held down marriages, fought something that nobody in this room ever saw. We all lived more than one life to get here. So here's how mine looked. I would finish work for the day, help out with dinner, bath, bedtime, the usual. And then when the house finally got quiet, open my laptop and start my other job, school. 4 lives stacked on top of each other for 21 months. Sure, we had Fridays, we had a break in between terms, but the truth is it never really switched off. There was always a deadline waiting. Most nights I didn't feel like I was excelling at any of them. I just felt tired and I felt guilty, like everybody was getting a piece of me and nobody was getting all of me. I'd bet money I'm not the only one in this room who felt that way. And then near the end, when we could almost see the finish line, life hit hard for me, the way it does sometimes. And I'll save you the details of that since I've only got 4 minutes up here. But every adult in this room has been there. The moment you'd come too far to quit, and life picked the exact moment to test whether you actually meant it. There were nights I wanted to walk away from this program, and I know some of you had those nights too. Nobody would have blamed any of us as well. But we had started something, and there's real power in finishing what you start. Because the world only sees the finished product, the cap, the gown, us walking across the stage. What it doesn't see is everything it took to get here. It doesn't see us up late at night trying to finish that tech pack in EBJ's class, the one that made us want to throw our laptops across the room, the kind of work that was brutal, but somehow rewarding at the same time. But here's what I actually remember. It wasn't the deadlines, it was the people next to me through it all. The residencies in Portland, all of us running on bad sleep and bad coffee from the Hampton Inn, somehow still showing up for each other. The trip to Asia, where everything we only see on the screen was suddenly right in front of us, and we got to stand in it together, a long way from home. That's the part that stays with me. Finishing is that unglamorous stuff. It's doing the work when no one is in the room to clap for you. And every single person in this cohort did exactly that. Here's what I learned crossing my own finish line. The finish was never about the diploma. There's a kind of power that comes from outside. The title, the salary, the thing that looks good on a LinkedIn post. And there's a power that comes from the inside. The kind that shows up when what you do finally matches who you are. That's what this program was for me. And the reason I didn't quit was sleeping in the same household as me, because my son doesn't need to see a dad who starts things and doesn't finish them. You each had your own reason, your own face you pictured on hard nights. Hold on to that. Because those long, impossible days, the ones that made no sense while we were living them, looking back now, none of them were wasted. Every late night, every detour, every moment any of us wanted to fold, all of it was pointing us right here to this day, to each other. And before I sit down, I have to say this. None of us finished alone. To the faculty who pushed us and believed in us, to the family and friends who covered for us, waited up for us, listened to more talk about tech packs, supply chains, and tariffs, and all the things in the sports product industry. And to my mentor, Tony Crowell, who the program paired me with, who always listened to my crazy ideas, always kept it real with me about the industry. To my mom, who was out there watching her son walk across the stage. To my wife, who was out there, the one who carried more than her share so I could chase this. Every one of us got here on somebody's shoulders. So if the person who carried you was in this room, find them today and thank them. They earned this just as much as we did. So let me leave you with this. There's always somebody coming up behind us, a kid, a sibling, a student, somebody who hasn't started yet. And they don't need to see us just win. They need to see us finish. They need to see what you can be exhausted and stretched thin and tested at your worst possible moment and cross that finish line anyway. So class, we didn't just start something. We finished it together. Now let's go start the next thing and finish that as well.
Hello, everyone. I think Eric needs another round of applause real quick. There we go. My name is Josh, and I will be presenting the Robin and Roger Best Award for Innovation. But before I do, I want to take a moment to talk about the person behind it, Dr. Roger Best. After speaking with Ellen and learning more about his story, it became very clear why this award means so much to the program. Because throughout Roger's many endeavors, he's been someone constantly searching for gaps, questioning systems, and looking for opportunities where others saw limitations. And what stood out to me most was Roger's mindset. To quote Ellen, Roger looks at a problem he's willing to fix, not at the way it is, but at the way he pictures it to be. And I truly feel that this mindset shaped every stage of Roger's life. Even in academia, while still a PhD student, Roger was already getting his work published and building a prestigious research career, something that people 5 years out weren't even doing. But what made Roger different was that teaching was never secondary to him. His students loved him because he brought the same level of energy, curiosity, and excellence into the classroom that he brought into research. Roger then moved into business, working for companies like GE because he wanted to see his ideas applied to the real world, not just studied, but brought to life. And throughout it all, Roger kept reinventing himself. Another thing Ellen shared that really stuck out to me is that Roger views his life in 2 to 3 year increments. Whether it was research, business, innovation, or teaching, he was always focused on the next challenge, opportunity, and the next problem to solve. But this program was different. What started off as another challenge turned into something Roger and Ellen spent 15 years building, refining into what they believed it needed to become. And I think that says a lot about what this program truly means to Roger, because he understood that you can't teach curiosity, you can't teach work ethic, but what you can do is create an environment that challenges talented people to think differently, work together, and push beyond what already exists. And that's exactly what this program does. From the very beginning, we're placed into teams with personalities and perspectives that were never supposed to naturally work together. We balance careers, personal lives, family, travel, and deadlines, all while trying to create products in just 21 months that challenge what currently exists on the market. And at the core of it all, there was always one question that people would ask, mostly John Eberly, but that question was why? Why wasn't it done this, or why is it done this way? Why hasn't it changed? And why can't it be better? And that question showed up in how each team created their products. From Team Ventus creating a golf rain jacket meant to improve range of motion, to Team Sierra creating a trail vest with a deployable poncho, to Team Futuro developing a U-Soccer cleat with a no-tie system, to Team Runaway creating a marathon travel bag for runners traveling to races, to Team Soul designing a beach volleyball shoe sock hybrid to protect players' feet from hot sand conditions. But what made the winning team stand out wasn't just the product itself. It was their process. Their work ethic was relentless, their team dynamic was incredibly strong, and they created structure and accountability through strict team meetings, team dinners during residency, and a culture that pushed everyone towards better solutions. Most importantly, they didn't accept the category as it currently exists. They questioned it, they reimagined it, and they created something that hasn't been done before. In many ways, this reflects the exact type of innovation Roger has represented throughout his life. Not simply making something new, but rethinking what something could become. So it is my honor to present this year's Robin and Roger Best Award for Innovation to Team Sierra.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Grace Yates, and it's my honor to be speaking to you today. When I started the sports product management program over almost 2 years ago, I thought I knew exactly what I was here to learn. I came to learn about product development, I came to understand the product life cycle, how ideas become products, and how products become brands, and how brands create impact. But while I was learning all of those things, I learned the most was nothing to do with product. It had everything to do with the people. So looking around the room today, it's hard to believe how far we've come. 2 years ago, most of us were complete strangers. We came from different backgrounds, different careers, different stages of life, and different states. And some of us were changing careers, some were growing careers, and some were balancing work, family, travel, and everything else that life has to throw at us. But despite all of our differences, we came here for the same reason. We were chasing a dream. So over the last 2 years, we've spent hundreds of hours together, hours in class, on Zoom, in breakout rooms, hours working through projects, presentations, group assignments, and deadlines that somehow always seem to arrive faster than we expected. And if there was one thing that we became really good at, it was presentations. At times, it felt like every week somebody was saying, okay, who is going to be presenting first? But through all of those projects and all those presentations and all those late nights, we really grew together, not just as students, not just as professionals, but as people. One of the highlights of this program was our trip to Asia. So for many of us, that experience brought everything together. So for the first time, we got to see the people, the processes, and the passions behind the products. And we spent months studying. We had those that once were on a slide, they became real. Factories became people, supply chains became relationships, and products became stories. And of course, I'll never forget running through the rain together in Japan, and I know that was not all of us, but some of us, and everyone trusted to follow me. And within seconds, I found myself lying straight on my back, and I am still so sorry for anybody that followed me in the wrong direction, especially Notar. But honestly, I think that moment describes our journey really well. None of us have the answers. We're all trying to figure it out together, and sometimes we get it right, sometimes we find ourselves laying flat on our back, but we always have to get back up. In my Duck Talk, I shared that for a long time I thought strength meant carrying everything on my own, and I meant that dependability just never was needing help. You never needed to slow down or lean on others. But this program has really reminded me of something important. The best things happen when people show up for each other. And that's what I'll remember most. Not the assignments, not the grades, not the products, the people. The people sitting to the left and right of us. The people who understand exactly what this journey required. The people who were there to celebrate our wins and to help us through the challenges and remind you that you never had to do this alone. There's a quote that says, if you want to go fast, go alone. And if you want to go far, go together. Looking at our cohort, I think that quote is the best it describes for the last 2 years. Because none of us got here alone. Someone invested in us, someone believed in us. And so before I go any further, I want to take a moment to recognize the real MVPs in the room, our families, friends, partners, coworkers, mentors, and loved ones. Thank you. Thank you for supporting us through the last 2 years. Thank you for encouraging us when we doubted ourselves. Thank you for understanding when we disappeared for another group project, another presentation, another residency, and another quick meeting that somehow turned into 3 hours. And thank you for listening, because let's be honest, many of us you all earned an honorary SPM degree at this point. You've heard about the product lifecycle, supply chain, and the consumer insights and the tech packs, and probably more presentations you ever wanted to hear about. You've heard about our excitement, our stress, our venting, and some of you even sat through those practice presentations. And so for that, we're extremely grateful, and you were there for our highs, lows, and everything in between. So thank you for believing in us, supporting us, and helping us get to this moment. Now it's our turn. Our turn to create opportunities, our turn to lead, and our turn to innovate. Our turn to make this industry better than we found it. Because the future of sports isn't about waiting down the road, it's somewhere right here, and it's sitting in this room with us. So throughout this program, we talked constantly about networking and staying connected. At the same time, it felt like every guest speaker we had the same advice: build relationships. But now I understand why. Opportunities come from people, mentorships come from people, growth comes from people, and some of the most important relationships are in this room. So my challenge to all of us is simple. Stay connected, build those true relationships, pick up the phone, connect on LinkedIn, send the text, answer the email, celebrate each other's wins, support each other through the setbacks, and never forget the people who helped you get here. Because if the last 2 years have really taught us anything, it's that we're better together than we are alone. So I'm going to miss seeing all your guys' faces on your little Zoom boxes every week. But I'm even more excited to see the impact that each one of you guys have on the industry. So just know wherever you are in your life and wherever it takes us, I will always be cheering you on. Thank you.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Taylor Bryan, and I've had the amazing opportunity to be a part of this program here at the University of Oregon, and also blessed with the opportunity to give out this award. So, one thing this program constantly pushed us to do was to think beyond creating products. We learned how to identify problems, challenge assumptions, take risks, and create ideas that can actually impact not only athletes and consumers, but the industry as a whole. That mindset is exactly what makes the Nancy and Dave Petrone Entrepreneurship Award so meaningful. This award recognizes a team that didn't just come up with a good idea, they showed what it really means to think like entrepreneurs, and honestly, entrepreneurship in this industry is far from easy. It takes creativity, but also resilience. It takes collaboration, communication, leadership, and the willingness to hear criticism and keep building anyway. It means being able to see a problem others overlook and having the confidence to still try to solve it. In sports product and innovation, the best ideas usually come from people willing to take chances, adapt quickly, and stay obsessed with their own idea. Over this past year, we've all spent countless hours brainstorming, researching consumers, testing concepts, revising presentations, and pushing ideas further than what we thought was possible. But this particular team stood out because they combined a strong storytelling, strategic thinking, innovation, and teamwork in a way that truly embodied the spirit of this award. Their project showed not only creativity, but also a clear understanding of their consumer, the market opportunity, and what it takes to turn an idea into something meaningful. And that's what entrepreneurship really is, turning uncertainty into opportunity. So to everyone graduating today, keep building, keep taking risks, and keep betting on your ideas and yourself. The sports industry needs people who are willing to challenge what's next. So now it's my honor to announce the recipients of the Nancy and Dave Petrone Entrepreneurship Team Award, Team Futuro. Congratulations.
Okay, well, first of all, thank you for the award. I am here to actually talk about someone very special today. So first of all, good afternoon. Thank you for all the support and everyone being here. Our journeys have, like Eric was saying, have all been up and down, and no one really sees it until you're up on the stage. So my name is Jade Sprague, if you don't know who I am, and today I have the honor of introducing Ellen Schmidt-Devlin, co-founder of our SPM program, someone whose story is not only inspiring, but also deeply connected to leadership, sport, product, and the University of Oregon. Over the next few minutes, as I introduce Ellen, I want you to close your eyes and think of two things. Which of Ellen's traits are aligned with who you are as a leader today, and which traits you plan to adopt to become a greater leader tomorrow? Are you ready? In my conversation with Ellen, one of the first things that stood out to me was how her journey started with hard work at a very young age. She grew up in Oregon, picked strawberries and raspberries in the fields during the summers, and later worked in her family's hardware store. From a young age, she learned the value of work ethic, confidence, and helping people. Ellen was also an athlete. She found her place through running and went on to win a state meet in the half mile. She later chose the University of Oregon because she saw an opportunity to help build something meaningful for women's track and field. That decision eventually connected her with Bill Bowerman, led her to test Nike shoes as a student athlete, and became the beginning of her 27-year career at Nike. What I admire most about Ellen is that she never saw her career as one straight path. She described it as a series of experiences that only make sense when you look back on them. During her time at Nike, she made it a point to learn every seat at the product creation table, from design development to marketing, sourcing, merchandising, and manufacturing. She did this not only to grow herself, but so she could better understand and empathize with the people she would one day lead. Ellen also has always been a trailblazer. She was often one of the few women in the room, but instead of letting that stop her, she kept learning, leading, and creating opportunities. After leaving Nike, she returned to the University of Oregon and helped co-found our sports product management program. She saw a gap between traditional education and real needs of the sports product industry, and instead of just talking about it, she did something about it. She built something new. This program has given students like us the chance to learn, grow, and see ourselves as more than one title, one sport, and one role. For me personally, that really matters. As athletes, it can be hard to transition into a new identity, but Ellen helped remind me that we do not have to stop being athletes. We simply become better athletes and students and leaders and creators and professionals. When I asked Ellen what kind of leader she was, her answer really stuck with me. She said she is the type of leader who brings people together around a vision that no one can accomplish alone, but that people believe they might be able to accomplish together. She also said leadership is about giving people the permission and space to shine. To me, that shows exactly who Ellen is. She leads with a vision, humility, experience, generosity, and all above kindness. In our conversation, I could feel that kindness in the way she listened, the way she encouraged me, and the way she cared about learning my story too. And now I ask you to open your eyes and think of what all of us can learn from Ellen. No matter what role we are in, what industry we enter, and what kind of leader we become, we have the ability to be kind in everything we do. Kindness does not make a leader weaker. It makes people feel seen, valued, and capable of doing their best work. Ellen shows us that you can be successful, accomplished, and respected while still leading with care. What makes Ellen's leadership so powerful is that she never used her success just for herself. She has used it to open doors for others. She gives people the space to shine, the confidence to grow, and the reminder that leadership is not about being the only person in front. It's about helping others believe they can step forward too. If we try very hard, listen intently, apply our knowledge, and get a bit lucky, perhaps we can all be great leaders like Ellen. Please join me in welcoming Ellen Schmidt-Devlin.
Wow, thank you, Jade. I'm going to bring Jade with me wherever I go now. So. Hi, graduates. Congratulations, too. I have to make this observation, though. So with all the family in the back, and you see your graduates, right? You see them at 25, 26, 30, whatever age they are. But you really see them at about 2, 3, 4 years old, right? So remember when you sent them to daycare. And your number one question is, what is the ratio going to be between the teachers and the students? You were looking for pretty close to 1-to-1, right? I'd like to point out the fact that we're pretty close to 1-to-1 here with our faculty and our students. So I would like to put our hands together for our faculty. And for the decision that all of you made to come to this program. I'm really proud of every single one of them. I missed yesterday, but I talked to Lindsay, your professor, And she said the two words that really stood out yesterday at the Duck Talks were connection and family. And so I'm gonna put another word in there too. It's love. You came to this program because you love yourself, you invested in yourself, you love product, right? And you found a program that you could be with people that are just like you. But really the love is for the families that are back there. When Eric stands up here and here's the daddy, I'm crying. So I want to tell you a little story about my family. So I think all of you have heard, and all of you will know now, because they all have to hear it every time I speak to them, I'm training for a marathon. What? Thank you, thank you. After the story, you won't be clapping. But I know that we have, amongst all of you, half of you were student athletes at universities, and the rest of you are all athletic. So you're going to be able to identify with this story. When you run a marathon, you have to run a long way. It's 26 miles, right? So my training run yesterday was 21 miles. At mile 20, I must have thought running was a contact sport because I hit the ground. So this Band-Aid here, 7 stitches. Yeah, so and there were 5, like in a moment, there were 5 people around me. And they said, do you have somebody to call? And I said, yes. So I called my daughter, Caitlin, and she came with her son, and they took me to urgent care. And then in my family, what my husband and I are more concerned about, you know, oftentimes people are concerned that their children will take their keys away, right? My husband and I are afraid they're going to take our athletic shoes away. So I talked to my oldest daughter, and I'm sort of apologizing, like, oh, man, maybe I'm not going to be able to do this marathon. And she said, why did you sign up for this? And I thought about you guys. Why did you sign up for this? Because it was a challenge. Because it was hard. That's why I signed up for the marathon. That's why you signed up for this. That's why you signed up for this industry. Why else did you sign up? Because you have a competitive spirit, right? But your word is connection. That's the future of this industry. Started with competition, continues with connection. So you have what it takes to not just train for what you're trying to accomplish, but to move that forward. Why should I think I can do a marathon at 68 years old? I'm guessing I'll be trying to do it at 78 and 88 as well. I'm guessing your experience in industry that you've had so far and what you're going to have in the future, I'll go back to what Stephanie said to us. This room is as important as the room that they have the Olympic athletes in. You will change this industry to the better. Athletes will perform better because of you. Companies will grow because of you. And it all started with your vision to come here. So you're going to accomplish your marathon as you come across. We're going to ask you to jog when you come across the, just kidding. So the Alan Schmidt-Devlin Award, which I'm very honored that they have here at the University of Oregon Sports Product Management Program, it is awarded to one person in a graduating class, and that is voted on by the faculty and the staff of the program. So this year's recipient, and I'll give you just a little bit about him, you know, so that you guys can start piecing it together and the families can start piecing it together. She is the oldest in her family. She has 2 younger brothers. From talking to people, she would do anything for her teammates. And the way she looks at her teammates are not just the 4 or 5 other people on her team. She looks at it as every single one of you. You were her teammates during her program here. And I know as graduates, all of you will look at it not just about this graduating class, but the 5 online programs before you and all the face-to-face programs. That's your new family moving forward. And this recipient saw her teammates as not just the people that she had to have those 3-hour meetings with, but each one of you. Probably the hardest worker. She puts the work in. She's very present, which I think is sometimes hard to do in an online program, right? Very much a silent leader, and that when she leads with poise, and very humble. So part of this award is that, hey, it's named after me, I can make things up, right? So we're gonna have a new tradition to this award. And this year's recipient is Grace Yates. Grace, come on up. Grace, I do have an award for you, which is probably something you'll put up on your shelf, but something to share with your little brothers and your family. My quote from Forrest Gump, obviously, is perfectly captures the unpredictable and the surprises and the variety of daily life. So you're going into an industry that will surprise and delight you, and you will surprise and delight them. So thank you for being an inspiration for this class. Thank you for being an inspiration for this program.
Thank you so much, Ellen, truly. And thank you so much for all the support, especially for my cohort, my team, being patient with me, because I know I wasn't always the easiest. But thank you so much to my family, truly, and all that just believed in me and everybody. So thank you so much.
Pay no attention to this thing. Hello, everybody. Oh, let's see if I can do this. That thing is intimidating. Move over here. Faculty and staff, families, friends, and graduates of the SPMO 2026 cohort, I'm honored to be here today to celebrate a friend and colleague who has had a profound impact on this program and on the lives of around 500 other graduates who came before you. While I'm sure that you all appreciate and respect this individual already, I'd like to share my perspective on why this person is extraordinary. And I'm probably gonna cry, so be careful. Okay, so who am I? You guys don't know me. Shelley Gourlay. I learned about the SPM program first when Ellen Schmidt-Devlin invited me to be on the advisory board while it was being designed and approved by the state of Oregon and everybody in the world when it was a big deal, right? When the program launched in 2015, I joined as a staff member, and I supported students in getting internships and jobs after school when they graduated. In 2017, I became the director. That's a big job. Where's Jennifer? Yeah. That's a big job, guys. That's a big job. During those years, we constantly joked that we were building the plane as we were flying it. And a big part of that was the challenge of integrating the footwear, apparel, and accessory product creation process into the coursework required for a master's in business. You might think those are easy to integrate, but it's a challenge. Another big part of the challenge was having facilities and equipment for the sometimes even more than 50 students that we had in the program at a time. How were we able to do that? Well, in very large part, it was because of the hard work, commitment, and creativity of a very special person who joined our cohort in 2016. Our group. Greg Leedy, and yes, this is for Greg. Greg Leedy had recently retired from Nike Footwear Design and was open to new opportunities. He took a look at our baby lab underneath the Burnside Bridge, and I really think everybody should go tour that sometime. And he thought he could help. In addition to teaching and solving countless problems, and some of those problems were extremely gross, and if you want to know, ask Greg about that. He began working on setting up the specs for a new grown-up lab in our new building downtown. That lab eventually became the envy of the industry, and I mean really envy. Many people wanted access to it. All they have to do is join the program. We soon added Krista Martinson, where she is, to lead apparel product creation. And in that moment, one of the best professional partnerships I've ever seen was born. Amen. Together, they created the structure and curriculum that still sets SPM apart as the first of its kind and the gold standard for experiential learning in a business program. So what qualities made Greg Leedy such a valued and impactful member of the SPM team and the legacy of this program? A few words, I'm gonna cry, but I don't wanna cry loud, okay? A few words that come to my mind are collaboration, creativity, and commitment. And collaboration, I would describe this way: willingly and respectfully contributing in a larger team that has a shared goal of educating and empowering our students to lead, create, and have a positive impact in their industry and the world. Creativity, I could go on about this for a long time, but I would describe it as the urge to make something new, whether it's an object, a process, or a community. Greg couldn't stop creating if his life depended on it. And commitment, showing up with authenticity and consistency no matter how hard it is. Adding an online program, guys, that was a big deal, was a huge lift for Greg and Krista because it required a totally new curriculum. Everything they did was in person. So it was a completely new thing. And then along came COVID, and pivoting this experiential lab during that time was another thing that could have knocked them down, could have knocked him down, and it didn't. I've been thinking about this little talk for a long time, and I could go on for a long time, but you're not here for me, you're here to celebrate this moment. So I want to end by saying that I'm grateful for the many gifts Greg has and for the immeasurable contributions he's made to SPM. I appreciate his friendship, kindness, and dry Midwestern humor. I tolerate his enduring loyalty to some university in Ohio, and that is thankfully tempered by his loyalty to the Ducks. And I wish him and Ellen the very best as they enter this next phase. So let's all give Greg Leedy our deepest appreciation. And the team has designed a very unique award for him. Are you going to speak?
I don't have a whole lot to say other than what Shelley just shared, but it's been an honor, and it's been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of work, but the lab shows very well, and it's taken a lot to get us there. But Krista has been a huge part of that. We make a great team. I wouldn't be here without the three of you, and it's been a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, it's me again. I am really honored. We have a service award that the sports product management gives to a team member who goes above and beyond, is collaborative, practices empathy, brings positivity to the team. We've been through quite a bit in the past 3 years. All good, change is good. We moved to a new campus. Shelley left, not in this order. Our co-founder left, and many other changes. And this person remains constant and positive all the time, no matter what. This person has a really difficult and challenging job. One of our most critical factors in the program is enrollment. So there's a lot of pressure on all of us, but this person in particular, in recruiting amazing people like you to be part of our program. It's not an easy job. They're constantly doing one-on-one meetings, answering questions about the program, because it's a big, right? It's a big decision. And so we want to make sure that we give you the time and care in making that decision. Daisy Sandoval is an incredible member of our team and is constantly showing up, going the extra mile, and helping us all work together and be excited about what we do. It gives me great pleasure to announce this award to Daisy Sandoval.
Sure. Well, I think a lot about when I first saw you guys a couple of months, years ago now, right? I think I brought a lot of energy, and some of y'all were like, oh my gosh, who is this? But you already knew, and I told you one thing, and I'll repeat myself again. Once a duck, always a duck. So when I say SCO, you say ducks. SCO, SCO, congrats.
All right. Oh, that works. Okay. Good afternoon, everyone, and congratulations. My name is Will Ryan, and I have the honor to present the Carson Tyndall Leadership Award. This award is sponsored by the Tyndall family in honor of their son, Carson Tyndall, a former SPM student who passed away in a car accident in 2018 during his summer internship in Eugene. During his time in the program, Carson was beloved by faculty, staff, and his fellow classmates, and had an outsized impact on the program as a student, classmate, teammate, friend, and leader. Each year, this award is presented to a graduating student who exhibits the leadership values and qualities that Carson represented and stood for. This year, the winner is an athlete. She is authentic, she is collaborative, she is curious, and she is generous. I am honored to give this year's winner her second Oscars moment of the day. This year, the Carson Tyndall Leadership Award goes to Natalia Miner.
Wow. Yes, definitely. I guess I spoke it into existence of my Oscar moment. And how ironic that I kept telling everyone, I do not like the spotlight, and I'm here the second time. But thank you to my class for believing me in this, and my teachers that I got to know for the 2 years. I appreciate it so much. This means a lot, and what it represents moving forward. And just thank you for paving the way for this. And I learned so much from you guys, and I can't wait for us to still continue connecting, and just still don't lose contact with each other. I think that's super important. So thank you guys.
Sorry, technical difficulties. I am now going to introduce Zach Meyer, who put together the class video for SPMO 2026.
Ooh, wow, a lot of people. All right, this video was created to tell the story of our cohort's journey. More than a collection of just photos and clips you've all sent me, it reflects memories, friendships, challenges, and achievements we've all shared along the way. Each moment captured here represents a small part that brought us together to this day. As we celebrate our graduation, watch this video and look back. Thank you.
Thank you, Zach. What a great video, right? I could not stop smiling. So many memories created with all of you and the faculty, of course. All right, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Juan Ernesto Moreno. And before I introduce our guest speaker, I'd like my fellow cohort members to think about a few things. What kind of leader do you want to become? What kind of impact do you want to have? What kind of products do you want to create? And what kind of legacy do you want to leave behind? Take a moment and picture that person. After almost 2 years in this program, that future is no longer just an idea. It is something each of us now has the opportunity to build. Over the last 21 months, we've researched consumers, debated ideas, built prototypes, and worked in teams across several different projects. And eventually, all of us got to experience something that we'll never forget. Holding something in our hands that started just as an idea. That's what product creation really is. It's taking an idea and making it real. When I had the chance to speak to today's guest speaker, he shared something that stuck with me. He said, "Great products become part of our stories." The products that we create are more than just objects. They are memories, experiences, and expressions of who we are. And the more we talked, the more I realized that his own story reflects many of the things that we hope to become. You see, his path was not a straight line. He didn't study product or business. He studied English literature. He began his career in journalism and media relations, following his curiosity, creativity, and love for design, culture, music, and storytelling. A journey that would eventually take him from a young storyteller fascinated by design to leading a company, making products used by millions of athletes around the world today. And I think that's an important reminder for all of us. Many of us came into this program from different backgrounds. Some of us are athletes, designers, business professionals. Some of us might be career changers. And if there's one thing that we've learned, it is that there's no single path into this industry. The common thread is curiosity, the courage to create, and the commitment to keep showing up every single day. You see, what impressed me the most about him was not his title. He does have a pretty impressive title, but nevertheless. It was his belief in people, his belief in community. For more than 3 decades, he has helped shape some of the most recognizable products and stories in sport, while never losing sight of the people behind them. Beyond his leadership career, he has remained deeply committed to giving back. He has taught courses on sneaker culture, mentored future leaders, served on the board of Portland Opportunities Industrialization Center, and invested his time helping students and underserved communities find opportunities to grow and succeed. To put it in his own words, he believes in being a citizen of his community and not just a tourist. And I think that commitment to service, mentorship, and lifting others up says just as much about who he is than any title ever could. In a world that's increasingly shaped by AI and digital experiences, he believes something that should resonate with every single person in this room. People still crave things that are real, things that they can hold, things that tell a story, things that create connection. As graduates of the Sports Product Management program, we leave with the ability to turn ideas into reality. And that ability has the power to change industries, change communities, and change lives. So it is my honor to introduce someone who has spent more than 3 decades turning ideas into products, products into stories, and success into service. Please join me in welcoming the Vice President and General Manager of Global Sportswear at Nike, Mr. Dave Schechter.
So that's embarrassing, but very, very kind. Thank you, Juan. And I tend to be very casual, so there's I think some families outside with little ones. You can come on in. It won't disturb. So thank you for the kind introduction. Thank you for having me today, and thanks to the administrators, the instructors, and the university for this amazing program. What I would have done with a program like this, I would have loved it to have been a part of it. And I also tend not to read my speeches. I tend to go without notes, so just hang with me. This is different for me to actually read a speech. I also want to thank Jennifer Nofi for extending the invitation to be with you this afternoon. And it's an honor to be considered because I'm an Arizona Wildcat. But my son, who I just picked up yesterday, just finished a sophomore year in Eugene. So I guess that makes me an honorary doctor. I told him I was going to say that, and he went, sweet. I'd also like to express my gratitude to everyone who's attending here today who is either in the industry and formerly in the industry that I love, and that's sports, lifestyle, and fitness. It's a special community. Thank you. So congratulations to this class of 26. If there's one thing I've learned about commencement speeches over the years, it's the 5 B's. Be brief, brother. Be brief. I can see you fanning yourself. It's hot under those robes. So I'll keep it moving along for you. And I'm just going to share with you 2 things that I've learned after, it's strange to say, but over 3 decades in this industry. And I hope that these things will be helpful for you as you go forward. I'm going to talk about care, and I'm going to talk about craft. And those are the 2 things. So I'd like to begin with care. So take a moment to think about your favorite meal, whether it's some nice home cooking or it's at a restaurant. And I'm willing to bet that what comes to mind is it's consistently delicious and it makes you happy. The experience that you have is more than just having a meal. In all likelihood, there's an element of caring for you that comes through with each bite, as though you're almost being personally considered by the person who made it, whether it was a chef or cook, or maybe this meal was made by someone that you love. It's this part that matters so much. The person who made this delicious meal was thinking of you when they made it. So one of the ideas that we talk about in our company is the notion of how we want people to feel about the products that we make. When I led Jordan Footwear and Air Max Footwear, we spoke openly about leaving people with the idea, someone who really cares made this. And that can be hard in advanced manufacturing, you might say, but it's actually pretty simple. We ask ourselves, does this product need to exist? Does it solve a problem in a straightforward way? Who's being thought of here? Does this exceed the expectations of the people who are spending their hard-earned money on it? Because we're all consumers in one way or another, aren't we? We rely on companies to make things that make our lives better, that don't just take our money. And this is especially important as consumers become even more selective about the things that we buy and that they buy. It's almost as though we were having the same promise we didn't plan our speeches together. So more and more scrutiny is rightfully being directed at companies in our industry, whether it's regarding sustainable practices or investor influence, or when you take a step back, the frictionless consumer experience that just comes with a click or 2 and having something arrive at your doorstep. Sometimes the ease of purchase can make products seem disposables, which they should never be in our industry. So I ask you again, do you care about the person for whom you're making this product? Do you understand them and what they're up against? Not just when it comes to a performance benefit, but possibly economically or socially. Some of the best products come from observation and empathy, such as ease of entry or closure benefits. These are products made with caring about serving a greater purpose than revenue or just hitting a brief. And so this is my first challenge to you. Be caring in your work. Think about how the products you make are value to the world and to those who purchase them. Make people stop and think, they really thought about me. The feeling we want people to have is happiness. Because no one needs more shoes, clothes, and accessories. If you really think about it, we need things that matter, that improve our lives by offering genuine benefits and value, and that are made by good people like you, people who care. I'd also like to speak with you about craft. Now, this subject can go many different ways, but I'll give you an example by telling a quick story which explains my product philosophy. So you're all ducks now, and I want to use a sporting event as an example. So let's just imagine that you're down at Autzen Stadium, and the vocalist for the national anthem is introduced. She begins singing beautifully, Now, the national anthem's a hard song, first off. It's a hard song, and there's also a danger zone in that song. And so you're listening along with a sold-out crowd, and the vocalist gets to the most challenging part of the anthem, and you already know what it is. It's the land of the free. And when she gets there, her voice cracks, and she goes off key for a moment. And you and many of the others in the crowd sort of go, oh. And then everyone cheers over the home of the brave, like they always do. And you turn to the person next to you, and you say, she sang that really beautifully, didn't she? And they say, yeah, except for the part where her voice cracked. This is the way our minds operate, with big helpings of negativity bias. After singing a very, very difficult song beautifully, the one false note changed everything. This is a big part of my product philosophy. To create well-crafted products, we have to eliminate the false notes. This is probably one of the hardest things to do in product creation. After all, in footwear, there can be up to 100 different individual components that all have to work together in unison. But false notes can occur anywhere. The t-shirts which have the tag that irritate our neck, the hoodie with the zipper pull that sticks. You're all shaking your head because we all have these. It could be the smallest thing that could be undetectable in the manufacturing process, or it could be a design flaw or a fit issue. And these things wreak havoc on the minds of the consumer, and they inhibit craft. Because we all have these items in our closet, don't we? The things we don't wear or use are often plagued by one or more false notes. The shoes that caught our eye looked amazing, and when we tried them on, something was a little off, but we got them anyway, because they looked so good. We thought, we'll just break them in. Spoiler alert, you won't be able to break them in. So you wore them all day, and at the end of the day, your feet were killing you, and you couldn't wait to take them off. These products sit there gathering dust as we remember the way the false note hit us. And we also feel a little bit of resentment sometimes, don't we? Because we spent a lot of money on that thing. 99 out of 100 things can be perfect. It only takes one false note to ruin the product. So how can you eliminate false notes? First, we have to activate the collective genius of our teammates. And some of the most talented people on any product creation team are the engineers, developers, material developers, and product testers who ensure that our products work as intended. The same goes for our manufacturing partners, and you've had the chance to go to Asia. These teammates and colleagues usually don't get the attention or the credit they deserve, but they are absolutely essential when it comes to keeping false notes out of products. By taking the recommendations of these good people about construction, best practices, and how to troubleshoot and solve problems, you have a great chance of success in achieving craft. And another way to eliminate false notes is this premise: the product isn't ready until the product is ready. We all have deadlines to hit, and there's frequently pressure to release our products into the wild so that they can start generating revenue. And don't get me wrong, deadlines matter. They really matter. But perfect products matter even more, because an incomplete or unacceptable product released on time will never be a game changer. It'll just be something riddled with false notes, sitting on your closet floor or hanging there on the rack as you wish you never bought it in the first place. This is how care and craft work together seamlessly. By caring about the people who purchase our products and focusing on craft to give them an amazing experience, we honor the consumer. We become investors in the success of our industry. It's our industry, it's your industry. Carrying the legacy of those who came before us with respect and integrity. After all, we're all consumers of something, and we should never accept anything less than a high standard for ourselves or anyone else. Now, as you go forward, I wish you continued success in whatever path you choose. And if you work in our industry, I think my colleagues would agree, we're going to challenge you to make us all look bad. And I mean it when I say that. Do the unimaginable things that change athletic performance. Get us to marvel at the way that you approached and solved problems. Help give kids the confidence to face the day with stylish, groundbreaking products that make them feel unstoppable, knowing that they look great and feel comfortable. Make our jaws drop at your ingenuity and your creativity. All of us, regardless of the company we work for, love the mission to improve people's lives. We do this with care and craft. We do this with passion. And we do this for those who follow us, and that's you. We'll be watching, rooting you on, and we can't wait to see what you do next. Thank you so much for listening, and I wish you the very best in your journey.
It is time. Graduates, would you please get ready to be awarded and hooded? Derek Alfama. Stephanie Antipov. Evan Bishop. Joshua Landon Bond. Taylor Bryan. Lewis Follis. Jaslyn Chance Gladney. Aiden Gordon. John Hatton. Jacqueline Hogel. Edgar Manuel Sanchez. Zachary Paul Genfei Meyer. Natalia Mariana Miner. Juan Ernesto Moreno Ordaz. Bryce Naylor. Maya Newton. Lauren Noel. Billy Pappas. Avery Patterson. Lucas Flieger. Will Ryan. Jade Sprague. Eric Washington. Grace May Yates. And your final graduate of the Lundquist College of Business Sports Product Management Master's Program, Zach Young.
There's still some hugging and handshaking going on. Yeah, Zach, come on. No, I'm kidding. Well, you guys, how does it feel? I just want to say that on behalf of SPM, we have been just so impressed with your growth and development over the past 21 months. And seeing you all yesterday do your capstones and duck presentation, like, you've been presenting on screens for the most part, and then to stand up in front of people and just nail it, we were just blown away. So on so many levels, we've seen such incredible development for each and every one of you, and we are super excited about the future will hold. There were a couple things that I wanted to mention about this particular cohort. We have some incredible karaoke singers here. Incredible. Blew me away. And then there were some like secretive photos being taken of people sleeping. I think you saw some pictures on one of the buses. Yeah, I avoided that picture, thank goodness. But this group has had so much hard work and fun along the way. And I really, really hope that you all will stay connected to each other, lift each other up, and go forward together. You're going to do incredible things in the industry, and we're always here for you. So with that, I would like you all to stand. The graduates stand, turn around. I'm pleased to announce the Lundquist College of Business Masters in Sports Product Management class of 2026.